Hey everyone, it's Dave, Homes by Sergeant Dave. Today, we're going to get back with our friends at Blue Star Lending and talk about first-time homebuyer programs. You don't want to miss this. Let's check it out. Hey everyone, it's Dave, Homes by Sergeant Dave. Thanks for checking back in. Like I said earlier, we're here again with Kevin Dawson, my friend here at Blue Star Lending.
Hey, good afternoon.
Want to talk about first-time homebuyer programs. I remember being a first-time homebuyer. It was, I had a benefit of being a VA buyer.
It's a great program.
It's a great program, but still, nonetheless, there's so many questions that you have about the process and programs that can be helpful to you. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the types of first-time homebuyer programs, not VA, that are available to buyers?
Okay, so there's a lot of different options available, and these programs are changing constantly too, so I always recommend that you do some research or maybe speak with a loan originator that can help you kind of navigate through that. Loans themselves can be very challenging and to understand all the different specifics, but first-time homebuyer programs are available as of right now. Okay, you've got two government available options to the state of California, which are CalHFA and GSFA, and they actually have websites available online for you to check them out. But those provide money for down payment and closing costs. You've even got some other programs that are available through a majority of banks, which are like Home Possible and Home Ready and Home One products, which are just for basic first-time homebuyer programs. So you have to have not owned a home in the last 3 years, and they have certain income restrictions and things of that nature, but very generous with like their interest rates and mortgage insurance, and overall it's a nice program if you're first starting out with a house. There's also FHA, which is just your general FHA related program, but FHA is really nice because it has very flexible guidelines. It's a little bit more of an expensive loan, but ultimately it's very flexible when you have maybe a lower FICO score or higher debt. There's even some programs available that also just give money to closing costs. So you even have that available. And then there's also grant programs available. And these are very specific, a lot to just very specific banks like Wells Fargo or Chase Bank and things of that nature. But there's even programs that give you money just to get into a house, right? And there's a certain amount allotted. And then once that money runs dry, it's gone. So you can also check those out as well. So a lot of different programs, but always keep up to date because they are constantly changing.
Now, I've heard about programs that are specific towards certain people who are teachers or nurses. Are there programs specifically for them?
Yeah, and I mean, there's some programs available there as well, but there's also just general assistance available. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer if you're one of those hero categories. So through our Homes for Heroes program, as an example, and there's a lot of other people that offer something very similar as well, but they help pay for closing costs and things of that nature to kind of make the idea of getting a home a little bit more palatable, right? There's a lot of costs associated with it, so they'll pay for things like some closing costs, appraisals, buy down or the rate, things of that nature to kind of make it easier for you to get into a house. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer necessarily, but most of the hero programs are going to be things like medical staff, firefighters, teachers, military, and police.
Great, thanks. So Kevin, you talked about some of the programs that are available for first-time home buyers. What are some of the features or pros and cons that you feel are significant to these particular programs?
Okay, so each program is very different in what it offers, but some basic typical ones that are involved with the majority of them are things like income restrictions, right? You have to be within a certain income. You can't make $200,000 a year and be asking for a first-time homebuyer program. It usually doesn't work like that. There's usually, for most of these programs that I mentioned earlier, income restrictions that are specific to your county, so you need to check those out. Most of them have credit scores all the way down to a 640. FHA can go all the way down to a 580. But most of them require usually a little bit higher of a credit score to be able to take advantage of some of those program options. So make sure that you're doing a good job of managing your credit and keep an eye on that. If you have questions, myself and then other loan originators as well, we can always help you go through rescore programs to help pull that up. Some other things like that are Like with CalHAFA and GSFA, they'll pay for, and we mentioned this earlier, they'll help pay for down payment and some of your closing costs. I would always advise you always have a little bit of money in the bank no matter what, because it's always better to have a little extra money. We're never going to ask you for more than what you need. So just have some money set aside as much as you can. You can always get gift funds and things of that nature. It doesn't have to just be money you saved up in your savings account. Most of them require very low down payments if it's not CalHAFA or GSFA. So usually 3 to 3.5%. Most people are always talking to me about 10 to 20%. It's always great to have that if it's an option available to you, but that's not always the option available to most people. So 3 to 3.5% is the typical amount required for most of these programs. And they also offer usually lower interest rates as well. They want to make it palatable for you to get into a house. So the payment, not only the closing costs and saving on the down payment, but the payment itself, your monthly payment, as best as possible, they usually offer a lower down payment or maybe a discount on the mortgage insurance. So always check up on those because the products are changing constantly and there's always new updates available to them and always new programs coming out every year.
Perfect, thanks. And on a side note, I've done some down payment assistant clients that have gotten into homes. It's a spectacular program. If that's something that you thought was going to hold you back, don't wait. Give me a call. Let's all three of us get together and we can touch on that one. So Kevin, we talked about the features, pros and cons and requirements that go with these programs, and we know that there's so many options available, but I want to touch back on something we talked about before, and that was pre-approval.
Yeah.
And that pre-approval process, how does that play a role with these specific programs? I mean, where does it fit in together?
Yeah, so that's a great question. We talked about pre-approvals on that last video, like Dave mentioned, and how important that they were, right? To make sure that you're dialed in appropriately with your finances and credit and everything, so that way when it comes time to put in an offer on a home, you've got a reasonable expectation that you're going to be able to get that loan, right? And something major would have to happen, like your down payment disappears or you lose your job, right? It would have to be something pretty extreme. So with these specific programs, almost all of them I mentioned, they have very specific guidelines associated with, well, not all of them, but most of them, with being a first-time home buyer, right? Not having owned a home in the last 3 years. Very specific income guidelines, very specific credit score, right? And if you don't fall into that bucket on any of those things, then you do not qualify for these programs. So when we were talking about the importance of having all that pre-approval work done, right? So we check your credit, right? We make sure that your credit score fits within the guidelines associated with any one of those programs we went over, right? And then we check your income, right? To make sure, again, that it fits within the specific guidelines for whatever program that you're interested in applying for. And we have all those items dialed in, then that way we can be assured that when you're going through the process, that you're going to be able to get the home, right? And that pre-approval process will also identify any concerns that we might need to run into that we might need to address, right? So like doing the rescore we talked about earlier and working on the credit score, or maybe finding out exactly what your income needs to be. Maybe we need more, maybe we need a little bit less. We can kind of tailor fit it exactly to where we need to be to get you to qualify for that program. So really getting that pre-approval done, especially with these programs, is so vital, even more so than with the other programs.
And thanks. I mean, there's so much involved that, working with the right people and asking the right questions and getting the right information is critical. I'm your real estate warrior, and I'm here to put a battle plan together for you. And I picked the right people to work with, such as Kevin, because I want you to win. And there's so many times that people think, I can't buy a house. I don't have any down payment, or my credit score's a problem. There's always something we can do to help you build towards that and achieve that goal. So let's get together, put a battle plan that's right for you, get you the home in the area that you want, and get you on the path towards home ownership. I'm Homes by Sergeant Dave. Give me a call.